Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial of CS Card Seller Plan Contract add-on. Now this add-on is used to add signed terms and conditions as a contract for any seller plan. The seller has to sign digitally before registering for any selected seller plan there. Now kindly note that this add-on allows the admin to create a contract for each seller plan that includes the seller company and various terms and conditions that the admin wants to add to his contract. Also, a seller has to digitally sign that particular contract before doing registration and opting for any plan to start selling his products on an online store there. Now, kindly note that this particular add-on is well integrated with the CS Card multi-vendor there, and it has the advanced backend option for the admin to add contract data under the vendor plans there. A seller can digitally sign the contract before registration. The admin and the sellers both get signed contract via email after registration. The admin can set up the size of the digital signature from the backend. The admin will be able to set the fields of the contract form, signed contract option from backend when seller changed their plan. This particular option is also available in this particular add-on there, and you'll be able to enable or disable the contract for any plan as required there. So in today's video tutorial, I'll be taking you through the workflow of this particular add-on at the storefront, where I'll be showing you how a seller can sign a contract for a particular plan. Then I'll be showing you the initial configuration settings, and lastly I'll be showing you how to set up the contract there for the different plans from the admin backend panel there. But before I proceed further with this particular video tutorial today, please do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates from our end. And if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. So right now you can see that I'm at the CS Card web store front end, and here I have the become a seller option in the header. So if I tap on the become a seller, I'll be taken to the particular page here that has the plans, and the sellers need to choose these plans before they register themselves within the store there. So for now, for example, if I go with the bronze one and I tap here on the choose option, so here I need to enter a few details regarding the vendor account there. So let's get ahead and let's enter the details first. So I'll be entering the company name here. I'll have the plan as bronze. I'll choose the first name as Peter, the last name as Doe. I'll enter the email here as peter@peterdoe@webkul.com. I'll choose the telephone number there, and I'll be entering the address here, as you can see. And after entering these details, now when the vendor applies for the vendorship there by tapping on the submit button, you'll see this particular seller plan contract pop up being displayed to the seller there. And here you can see that I belong to the company Webkul, which is located at 32 Street Lane in California, USA. Agrees to accept that all the details mentioned on my registration form are valid. My registered email address is peterdoe@webkul.com. So I'd like to get registered as a seller on your store. Kindly process my request further. Now here you can basically enter the complete terms and conditions for the contract there. So for this demo, I've just entered this particular paragraph here, as you can see right now. And here you can see that the seller needs to sign this particular contract before he can proceed further to become a seller there, or he can upload a signature as well by tapping here on the upload option. And here you can see that the maximum signature file size is 500 KB. Now this signature size can be set by the admin from the plugins configuration settings there, that I'll be showing you that in a while from now. So here what I'll be doing is I'll be digitally signing this particular contract here. And after signing the contract here, I'll tap here on the proceed button to proceed further with the same. Now as soon as this process is up, the admin as well as the seller will be basically receiving the signed contract via email after the registration there. So both the admin and the vendors will receive this contract on their email addresses as well. Now this was the workflow at the front end, at the seller's end. Now let's hop on to the admin backend panel and let's see what different initial configuration settings are there for this plugin and the rest of the workflow there. So I'll be logging into the admin backend panel by entering the email password and tapping on the sign in button. So the very first thing that we'll be seeing is we'll be seeing the initial configuration settings. So after you successfully install this particular plugin, you'll have to navigate to the manage add-ons. Here you have to search the particular plugin in the installed add-on section. So here we are having the seller plan contract, and it allows the admin to add different contract for each seller plan, and the sellers have to digitally sign that contract before registration there. So here you have to tap on the gear icon and tap on the settings option, and from here you'll be able to set up the maximum signature file size in KB. So that's the value that we had set up for the maximum signature file that you can upload as a seller. So you can upload a signature as well, but the size should be in KB. So the maximum size of the file should be accepted by the server for signature image, and this value would be the same for the same there. So after you have submitted the information there on the front end, you can see that your request was successfully added. You will receive the email with the answer later, and now you can tap here on the close button thereafter. So that was the complete workflow at the front end. This was the initial configuration settings. After setting up the maximum signature file size in KB, you have to tap here on the save button. Now coming to the vendors section, how the admin would be able to add the contract to the plans there. For that you have to navigate to vendors, and here you have to go to vendor plans. Under here the vendor plans, you will find the complete list of vendor plans that you have created there. Like you can see here, we have the bronze, silver, gold and platinum. Now for any of the plans, if I edit any of the plans, you can see after the successful installation of this add-on, that's the CS card seller plan contract, we'll find one option or the tab, that's the seller plan contract. So if I tap here on the seller plan contract, here you will be able to set up the contract content. So here you can see I belong to the company which is located at, and we have put the placeholders here so that the details are fetched from the details that the vendor is going to enter there on the registration page. I agrees to accept that all of the details mentioned on my registration form is valid. My registered email address is the placeholder, so I would request you to get registered as a seller on your store. Kindly process my request further. So here you can set up the contract content, and here you have the option to show the contract. So if you enable this option, whenever the vendor enters the vendor details and taps on the proceed button, the pop-up that appears there for the contract would be displayed if you check this option. Otherwise, if you uncheck this option, then the seller contract pop-up would not be visible after the seller has tapped on the proceed button after filling it in the details on the registration page there. So you need to check this option to show that particular pop-up. Now here we have provided the seller contract placeholders, like you can make use of the field names like company. For company you can use person, company person. For description you can use company description. Email, phone number, URL, fax, address, city, country, state and zip code. And these placeholders can then be used within the contract content as well as for your requirement there. So this contract content is customizable, and you can set up the contract content as per your own requirement there. And after filling these details, what you need to do is you just need to tap here on the save button. Now this particular tab would be available or would be visible for each of the plans that you will create. For example, if I go to gold and I try and edit this up and I go to the seller plan contract tab, here again I'll be finding the same there. So I've put the same content in all of the plans there for the demo purposes. So according to your need, you can set up the contract content and can use the particular provided seller contract placeholders within the contract content as well as per the requirement there. So after you set these up, you just need to tap on this save button, and after you save the contracts for the plans, whenever the vendor goes to the become a vendor section there, chooses a particular plan, enters the particular details for the vendor account, taps on the submit button, the pop-up for the plan contract would be visible there. Let me show you it once again. So for example, if I go with this and I'll go with Peter Doe and I'll choose a telephone number, I'll select the address, I'll tap here on the submit button. You can see the particular contract details are visible here with the particular placeholders showing the details of the vendor that he has added on the vendor registration page there. And here you can start digitally signing the particular contract and then tap on the proceed button to complete the registration there. So yes, that was much about the CS card seller plan contract, and I hope it helped you out in understanding how it allows the admin to create a contract for each seller plan that includes the seller company and the various terms and conditions that the admin wants to add to the contract. Also, a seller has to digitally sign that contract before doing registration and opting for any plan to start selling his products on an online store there. If you still have any questions, queries, suggestions, or requirements regarding the same, then you can anytime get back to us at support@webkul.com, or you can raise a ticket at webkul.ubdesk.com as well. Apart from that, if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. And lastly, thanks for watching this particular video and have a great day ahead.